All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Tyngsborough TV Live. I am Town Media Director Steve Brogan, and you're watching another segment on the Tyngsborough TV broadcast. We're doing a special segment regarding the Winslow School reunion that's coming up on May 4th of 2019.
Yes.
Right? So it's a little bit out in the distance, but it's coming up it's a year away anyways.
Yeah, less than.
Yeah, less than a year, right. So before we get into that, I just want to remind everybody, if you're watching this, you can check it out on all of the various Facebook pages that we share it across, as well as on YouTube. If you're watching on either of those two, you're also more than welcome to ask questions, chime in, and if you have questions for myself or Ashley. And you can also watch this on Comcast Channel 8, Verizon Channel 29, and at tyngsboroughma.gov on our video on demand and streaming service. So my guest is the lovely Ashley Makovich.
Thank you.
You're
Hi.
welcome. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you.
And so, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about the Winslow School reunion that you've been working on. You've been planning and going with the Historical Commission and Augie and all those guys, coming up with all the details for this reunion, which is going to be pretty cool. You're inviting everybody? Anybody?
Yep, anyone. We're calling it a Winslow School reunion because there's so many people who attended the school, right? But then also anyone who's just a friend of the Winslow School. So it's open to all friends of the Winslow School. We hope you come and maybe learn a little bit about the history, but also just kind of an opportunity to share your memories.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you're asking or going to be asking folks who attend to bring? Are you going to ask them to bring photos or memories, anything like that?
We would love that. And even if before the event, if you have class photos, we'd love to see them just so we have an opportunity to scan them and get a copy of them.
Excellent. Yeah, that's
but
cool.
we'll have those on display. Absolutely. Cool. I have mine. Should I show it? They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can pull it up.
All the townies.
Go ahead. You can pull it up.
Right. The townies know what I'm talking about. When, like this one right here.
That's an old one.
Right.
Look
this is my grandpa. And this is his 1937 class photo on the steps of the Winslow School.
Interesting.
And then there's mine from 1988.
Oh,
right?
that's funny.
So we're hoping that people will send us these, and then we can start to kind of get, okay, who's who and who are the classmates and things like that. Yeah.
Now, how complete of a history do you have as far as students that attend? Do you have a roster that includes everybody?
We wish we did. And so we are desperately counting on anyone who's seeing this right now or who hears about this. We need you to reach out to your friends, to your old classmates, and just tell them the date, first of all. So May 4th, 2019. We'll start at the town hall, but it'll kind of be like Littlefield Library, Old Town Hall, things like that. And so we know who we know, right? We know who we went to school with, and so we're just hoping that we can get the word out that way.
Okay.
And also old teachers. We'd love to hear from teachers who taught at the Winslow School.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the school, right? People think that's like, especially if you're not from town or you just moved here, it looks kind of like this like old abandoned building. That building there, right? That now it is. That building was built in 1892. But it was still in session until 2002. And so we still, right, exactly. So we still have...
So 110 years.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
So we expect, this is what's so cool about the reunion, we expect a very wide range of ages coming together with this one thing in common, right? Your attendance at the Winslow School.
Right.
So I think that's just what we're most looking forward to see that.
So how are you getting the message out to folks?
As of right now, so it's been in Neighbor to Neighbor, so look for that. We'll do updates in Neighbor to Neighbor. We've done some things with the Lowell Sun. As we approach the date, we'll definitely have some more in the paper, and then social media. So on the Tyngsborough page, Tyngsborough Historical Commission has a Facebook page, and so just word of mouth as best we can. Yep.
Excellent. I mean, it's a small town, so I figure that you could
town,
probably reach a
right?
lot of people pretty quickly.
I hope so.
Just by word of mouth.
So. Yeah.
Cool. Another thing I should think about is you could send maybe a notice out in the with the tax bills. That's an option to send.
Okay.
I'm going to be sending something out as well soon.
Look, you've got. It's like, oh man, your taxes, but then also the Winslow School.
Winslow School reunion. Yeah, hooray! I got to pay my taxes.
I
Boo!
like that. Right, I like that.
It's a good way to bring it up a little bit. Bring the mood up.
Yeah. You know what? One thing, because you had asked me this, like, what else could they bring? And you said memories.
Yeah.
And so one thing we will have while we're there will be just kind of little 5x7 memory cards. And so if we would love it if people would kind of write handwritten notes. We'll have those available for people.
Oh, cool.
To just record their memories of the school and what they loved about it, things like that. And then we'd love to turn that into a book for the public, just notes, and we'll incorporate old photos and things like that.
I want to ask you one more question before we talk a little bit about the history of the Winslow School itself, but will there be the possibility, and I know there's issues around it because of safety, but will there be the possibility of getting into the school so people can kind of like walk the halls again?
I wish. As of right now, no.
Okay.
Just for safety concerns.
Yeah, it is kind of treacherous in there.
Yeah. I mean, right, you did a tour of it.
I did, yeah.
So we can share that. But as of right now, no. We would love to have a photographer on hand to do kind of recreate class photos.
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah.
In front of the Winslow School like you used to for your class photos. So, picture opportunities, but inside the building, maybe we can make it happen. Who do I need to speak to make
right,
that
let's
happen?
find somebody. Get
Great.
on the phone.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Jamie Gustafson says hi and that you're doing a great job.
Thanks, Jamie.
No actual questions, but that's okay.
So I'll say this. So Jamie is a guidance counselor at Tyngsborough High School, and that's where I teach. I teach history at Tyngsborough High School. So I do teach a class on town history. And so that class is running in the spring. So I'm definitely going to be employing the students to help make this happen and
cool,
do a couple projects. And
there's a good little
like
class project built in, right?
It is a great class project. Yeah. Cool. They do a good job.
Excellent. So now let's talk a little bit about the history of the school, because the building has been there since 1892, right? What we see now isn't the way it looked originally, correct?
No. And I don't have, I'll put some photos like in the comments or something like that after.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we can visualize too.
Nope. So that building, it was just a small square schoolhouse. But even before that, before 1892, most people are familiar with the Little Red Schoolhouse that's in Dunstable. That's the original Winslow School. So that was here in the center of town. We had it moved, and so it's now shared. The Tyngsborough Dunstable Historical Society. That's our building. That's their building to host those.
Oh, so you just blew my mind. That building is actually the original Winslow?
It is.
Really?
And I'll tell you how it got its name. So Sarah Ting Winslow, she was a Ting. She was a member of the Ting family, and she made a donation to build a schoolhouse, and that was built with that donation. So that was Sarah Ting.
Okay.
Yes.
So now the two towns share the building as their historical.
Basically,
building, right?
And there's all kinds of great events that they put on there, and they have their Strawberry Festival, things like that.
Oh, cool.
But
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
And so at that time, right, there were multiple schools because it was kind of like this district age, and so there were schoolhouses. If you look at an old map of Tyngsborough, you'll see schoolhouses all around town, and that was just one of them in a central location. And as like the town grew, they were actually holding classes in the old town hall, and fire station, anywhere they could. So that's why, right, there's viewers probably watching, and they say, "Oh, I never got to go to the Winslow School," because maybe that year their class was being held in some other location.
Do they still count as alumni?
They do.
Okay.
So we want you to come. We hope that you come. We hope everyone comes.
Excellent. So now what about the physical building that we see today?
Right.
That's gone through many iterations as well, right?
So and then we just kept adding on wings. So I know a wing was added in 1915. And then again in 1948. So it just kind of grew with the town.
Okay.
And like I said, students were still going there. So I began teaching at Tyngsborough High School in 2012, and I was teaching students who had gone there. Right?
Oh, really?
They had went there, before the new elementary school was built and all of that. Right.
These were like maybe the last of the classes.
They were the last. Yeah, they were the last ones to kind of go through.
Wow.
So anyone who's watching this and wants to become a part of this or wants to help in any way, we need all the help we can get. So we would love that.
Excellent. Talk a little bit about the committee that you've been working with to put this all together.
Okay, so I'm on the Tyngsborough Historical Commission, and so we kind of came together and said, we need to do something to promote the building, to get the people together, and so we said, well, let's kind of host a reunion, and then from there, in addition to the committee, we kind of opened it up to the public and said, again, just like this, anyone who wants to become a part of this, we would love all the help we could get, and so we did. We've gotten a few members of the public who've reached out, and kind of slowly we're starting to kind of come together and decide, okay, what is the event going to look like? So, yeah.
Excellent.
A lot of help. A lot of hands.
This seems like one of those events you do need a lot of hands because you're trying to rope in everybody that you can to show up, but also all the back end details that you have to work through.
Right. So it's like I feel like I have all these ideas and what I want it to look like, and but then I don't know how to make that happen. So I'm hoping somebody else does. Right.
Okay.
We can all come together and make it work.
So you're still looking for volunteers and people to help out with the project overall?
Yeah. And then one thing we're kind of running into now is we want this to be a free event. It will be a free event. But in order to make that a free event, we're counting on hopefully donations or people who just, again, want to volunteer in any way. And so especially like we'd love to have a band. We'd love to have live music. So we're kind of speaking with some local bands right now. You know, would this be something you'd be interested in? And so in order to make all those things kind of happen, we would love volunteers or donations or sponsors or anything.
Excellent. Have you had a lot of response so far to this point?
Yeah, it kind of like, of course, Tyngsborough townies, right? We know we just kind of chat and we bump into each other and we talk forever, right, about the town. And so kind of just like that, nothing formally. Yeah. And so now that we're kind of getting closer to the event, I think it'll start to kind of, maybe we'll put something out where if you do want to donate, if you do want to make a contribution, here's how to do it. Yeah.
Excellent.
So we'll set that up soon.
Cool. What do you hope is the ultimate result for that building? Like the structure itself, what would you love to see happen there?
I've heard so many great ideas. Some of my favorite ideas were, well, definitely just space for all kinds of studios, things like that, right? Because there's all these rooms, right? Why not use it? Yeah. And so I think definitely modeling after some of the other towns like Chelmsford and just surrounding areas. What have they done with their buildings? Whether it's like, you know, art studios or something, somewhere that the community can go to. And then the field in the back it's huge and it's such a great location. And so just even using that as kind of like an outdoor concert venue or some place that the community can come together and be outdoors and utilize that. So I don't know, there's a lot of great ideas. As far as what the reunion, what I hope that achieves with all of this, I don't really know about that. I just want people to at least remember the Winslow School and you know how wonderful it was to go there. So yeah, in some way save it, even if it's not, you know, who knows what could be used for, but definitely preserving the building.
I'm sure there's a million and one uses, right, you could come up with, but yeah, it's what's the best and what's the most cost effective, obviously, because it's going to be, it's not going to be cheap to renovate that place, that's for sure, given the size and scale.
Right, and it's in the center of town, right? And so I'm thankful that it seems like we're headed in a direction that we want to preserve this small town feel, right? This historic feel. And so again, that space, it's also in the center of town, right? So there's certain things that it could never become that, right? Because we're a small town and we don't want all that traffic there. You know, we want something that can be used by the people and make it more of a town center.
The question is, what fits? You're right, for the town, the character, the the size and all that stuff. But I feel like, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen going on in town government and hearing people talk about, Tyngsborough seems to have hit a bit of a revitalization kind of phase, if you will. You know, where they're trying to preserve open spaces and bring out their parks and trails, save buildings.
Right, I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It makes me happy.
Yeah, it is very cool.
Yeah.
So what else is there about the Winslow School that I don't know, that you enjoy or historically that's maybe significant? Yeah,
historically significant. Again, I think at this point, it's just that idea that, so when and of course I'm a teacher, right? But your school years, those are your formative years. And you form these friendships and these bonds. And anyone who grew up in Tyngsborough knows that that's what's so special is these classmates, right, that we have and that they still have. We've known each other since we were in preschool till high school graduation. And so you have that your school ages in common. And so we just want people to come together and remember that. From a historical perspective, I would love to see it written down or recorded. So like I said, we'll have those memory cards so that we can save those memories and future generations, because in the future generations, they don't get to go to the Winslow School. They'll never go there. We'll never have classes there again unless it does get used as a schoolhouse. And so we need to preserve these memories.
Yeah.
And then actually, right, I've asked you if we can somehow make like a video recording of people recording their memories.
Sure, yeah.
And so that would be another
be
great
neat.
thing, right?
Yeah.
I think, it's sometimes mortifying to record yourself, right? I'm mortified right now, but hopefully they'll do it for history's sake.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so it can be, but at the same
Yeah.
time, you're doing it for historical purpose. So, for example, I've done them with veterans, a number of them with veterans. And so, they pass, unfortunately, but their stories live on through these videos, and same thing with people who went to the school. So I think that's neat. You probably get some pretty cool little tidbits of information that you wouldn't have otherwise heard from these things too.
It's all those stories.
Right.
And, by the time I went there, it was really just for kindergarten transition, first grade. But for a very long time, you graduated from the Winslow School. You were there until 8th grade. And Tyngsborough didn't have a high school, and so you were either went, to work, or you went to Lowell High or Chelmsford High or something like that. And so a lot of people spent a lot of time at the Winslow School. They were there for 8+ years. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, right.
I'd love to see a walkthrough of that building with somebody who went there that remembers like what the different rooms were for. Because there's like offices and weird little places up on stairwells that don't go to anywhere. Kind of thing. Like there's some weird little nooks and crannies of that building.
That's the best part about old buildings.
Yeah.
It's like, this doesn't make sense at all. Yeah.
I remember we went downstairs into the basement, and it's where the bathrooms were. And like these little short stalls. And I'm going, wow, I was actually once this short. I never went to the Winslow, but little kids, you imagine. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, everyone watching, they remember the bathrooms in the basement, of course. Yep,
and
absolutely.
It's creepy down there too.
Yeah.
It's a little bit anyway.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So for people tuning in, just so to remind everybody, May 4th, 2019 is the date for the Winslow School reunion that's been set.
Yeah.
So from here on out, you're just inviting everybody and anybody who wants to come out.
Yeah, stop by.
Yeah. So spread the word, pass it on to your friends and neighbors, maybe share these videos, because that really helps to get that stuff out there. Elders, obviously, that might be a little more difficult to reach. How do you think you'll reach some of those
Right,
folks?
Exactly. So I know it's circulating on social media, and then it's up to you. Like, so for example, my Grammy and Grampy, who are on Ting Road still, right? I'll just go tell them, because I know that they're not on Facebook and they're not checking this. So for all of your friends and family who aren't on social media, just call them, stop by, say hello, and get that out. We do have little cards, that have like a save the date card. So maybe I can leave those here at Town Hall.
There you go.
And people can pick those up and mail them or give them to someone. So I'll leave a stack of them here.
Council on Aging, maybe?
Yes,
maybe
absolutely. Yeah. And I think there's a few flyers around town at this point that say, the date and everything like that. So if you're looking, you'll see it, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully. And there's other avenues too. Obviously, we have social media, which we're doing now, but there's also print where you've gotten the story in the Lowell Sun.
Yes.
And maybe at some point, if Amaris is watching, they'll do another story
hi,
to help
Amaris.
promote.
Yeah, I'll reach out. She's been reaching out to me, so I will absolutely get back to her.
Excellent. Very cool. Very cool. So what else do you want to tell folks about?
I think that's really it. I just hope to see them, and I would love to do this again once we have everything kind of set. Like, I think right now the option that we're going with, especially since it's going to be a free event, the food truck, it's big right now. So we were playing around with, do we have it catered, or how do we make that work? But we've been in communication with a couple food trucks, and they were very interested. So I think that's what we'll do. And so, of course, it'll be like, kind of in the midday hours that we're doing this. So we will have food available for purchase.
Excellent. What is that day?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday. Oh, good.
It
Okay.
is.
All right.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, we had good luck getting food trucks for our block party.
Right, which was a huge turnout.
It was amazing.
Awesome.
It really was.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it's events like that, and they did so well, and it brought the community together. And that's what this event is, right? It's a reunion. It's just an opportunity for you to come together with your friends, your neighbors, your family, and talk, right? And share memories. And that's just the one thing that I want people to get out of this.
Excellent. Tell me, do you know anything about the history of that field that's behind the school? I've heard some different things about it.
Directly behind it?
Yeah. Yeah,
just
there's like
the open field?
Yeah, it was like a baseball diamond at one point.
Oh, yeah, but still part of it was part of the town, though. Part of the school, right? So we always had our field days. Everyone knows that Winslow School field days were the absolute best, right? And we had pony rides and potato sack races and all kinds of things, right? That was like the highlight of every kid's school year was the field day. As far as that behind, like going even further back, certain properties own Like there's tennis courts.
They own bits and pieces. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Jen Bauer Dean says that she graduated in 1962 from 8th grade at the Winslow School.
Awesome,
So
right? Exactly.
Hopefully Jen will be going if she's watching.
I hope so. I absolutely hope so. Yeah.
Very cool.
And again, right, there until 8th grade. So right, like for my grampy who graduated from 8th grade, after that he went to work. You know, so
really? Wow.
yeah, right, yeah. So
was that the highest grade that came out?
Yeah,
of Winslow?
basically, yes, it was. Yeah, the highest grade that came out of Winslow.
And so, where did they go after for high school?
So because we didn't have a high school until the North Road School, which is now the middle school, right? But that was the high school for a very long time.
Okay.
You either went to a surrounding area high school.
Oh,
so you could have gone to Lowell High, you could have gone to Chelmsford High, but somewhere in the area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and the one on North Road, that's built in like the 50s, I believe.
Yeah,
correct?
I think. Well, no, I think it was actually the 70s.
Was it?
So the North Road campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the old building on the right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So my parents went there, and I want to say they graduated in 1970. Could have been 72.
Okay.
But yeah, that's when in the 50s, that's when we expanded and we built the Lakeview School, which is on Coburn Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm confusing that with them. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. However, I know. So see. Right, because we just had our 50th graduating class, right? And so what was the date of that one? So now maybe you're right. Maybe it was much sooner
that would be,
than that.
well, I mean, it's 2018, so 50 years would be
72. Yeah.
Something like that? No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm terrible at math some days.
I'm a history teacher. That's my excuse. That's always my excuse. I'm a history teacher. Sorry.
And I just do TV stuff. I'm not a mathematician over here. So.
Yeah. Again, I'll try and come back to this and put dates and things like that in the comments. So.
Did you bring any other little artifacts with you to show?
Not right now, but this will be like the little teaser, right?
Okay.
So we hope definitely at the reunion we'll have all kinds of artifacts and class rings and things like that on display. But in the meantime, if you come visit the Tyngsborough Town Hall, right, the actual town hall, not the old town hall, there's a display case. And currently in that display case is the pewter from the First Parish Meeting House. That's what's in there. But we're going to reserve 2 shelves for Winslow School photos and artifacts. We've got a couple diplomas and things like that.
Yeah,
so
that case needs a little rework anyway. So
it's time. I'm working on that right now.
Cool.
I think I've gotten all of the objects together, and we'll put a little museum piece. So probably within the next few weeks, if they want to stop by and check all those things out.
Yeah, so you can come see some artifacts, check that out. So Anne-Marie Roy commented, and she said, woohoo, AMAC. But then she said 1967, so I'm assuming she's referring to when the school was built on Norris.
Yes. Thank you for the 1967.
She can do math.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Good. See, look at you have all these viewers that are watching you.
There's a handful of people watching that.
That's exciting.
That's cool. So there's days that I hate social media, but there's days like today that I really actually enjoy it. It's fun.
Good.
The days that I can't stand it are like the ones when it just doesn't stop and it's political, whatever.
Oh, I know. Yeah. No,
like
we'll leave all, and sometimes it does get heated when you talk about Winslow because people have strong opinions on what they want to do with it. And so I don't want it to head in that direction, you know? This is just an event for people to come together and again, just remember, right? It's just a chance to remember.
Just a reunion and nothing more, but to go and have fun and share your memories.
Right, I know,
Very cool.
And I hope out of that, right, people kind of begin to remember and realize how important it is to remember your past and remember where you came from and to preserve, right? Preservation of the building. It's more than just a building. So. Do
you have any sense from talking with the Historical Commission of like, say, the how old some of our oldest folks that are still living that went to the school? Yeah. So we do, right? And our oldest resident in town, why is her name? And we just gave her an award, too. Why am I forgetting? Oh, my goodness, right there on Middlesex Road. Because you're on TV.
I know it is. Oh, my gosh, it is. There's a lot of pressure. But, yeah, so we're expecting quite the age range. So if they're able to come to the center of town, 90s plus. So, my grampy, who's 88, he turned 88 this year. He'll be there, right?
Excellent.
And then I'll be there. I'm in my 30s. That's all.
So he's 88. You graduated in 88. 88. You said, right?
Right. Well, I was there. Yeah, this is from 88. That was when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
No. Yeah. And then, of course, like I said, we've also got people in their 20s who were there in 2002. So yeah.
Very
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. So 20s and 90s plus.
So while you're there and you're doing the reunion, are you going to take names down so that you can build sort of a roster of folks?
Oh yeah,
for
that would be
for the
great.
building?
Yeah, so we hope to have several different like stations and tables set up, and that will be one of them.
Oh,
And
okay.
we can start
Cool.
compiling rosters, and on those memory cards it will say who your name is, what your name is, and then the years that you attended, and so we can kind of keep track that way.
Neat.
But yeah, setting up when we have a class photo, we'll have those, and then also. Like, for example, on the back of this one, they've all been recorded. So that's wonderful.
There you go.
It's
Look at
wonderful when that happens. But a lot of them, we don't. We might know a couple people in the photo. And so we'll have photos like this on display with just, kind of like lines for you to hopefully identify who your friends were. And
That's a good idea.
yeah.
I
So,
like that.
so you're
Yeah,
going to do the work for us. You're going to tell us who they are. Yeah.
This was Billy Joe.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Susie
They're
Q and
all
all, yeah.
here. Yep. Exactly.
Awesome. Very cool. So again, May 4th, if you're interested in going to the reunion, May 4th of 2019, I should say. But you guys will be working in the community promoting this as much as you can, trying to get it out there so folks will know about it leading up to the event. I mean, we have plenty of time.
We do, yeah. Members on the historical commission, they're like, "Oh, that's not enough time." They say it's not enough time, but I think
it's never enough time.
It's never enough time, so we just got to do it,
Just
right?
do it, right,
We've been
exactly.
talking about this for a long time, and people have said that they would love to do something like this, so we're just going to do it. We're going to do it, and it's all going to work out.
Excellent. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
We'll come out and take pictures. We'll definitely be there to take some
Yep.
photos and stuff so
Yep.
we can show you guys at home.
Yeah.
For everybody who doesn't go or can't attend. But hopefully
Yes.
everybody will want to go to this.
I hope that you
it's-
can.
yeah.
We're actually, we do have, the Tyngsborough Historical Commission has a Facebook page. So if you don't already like and follow us, we would love if you did that. But we've been, people have reached out to us from California, from Arizona,
Really?
who say, "Oh, that's where I grew up. I went there. I'd love to come home for that."
Really?
Because
That's awesome.
Right. If you're from Tyngsborough, doesn't matter where you go. This is your home, and so we're hoping people come home for it.
Could take the person out of Tyngsborough, but you can't take the Tyngsborough out of the person. There you
can't, no. Tyngsborough Townies, we're just something else.
That would be an awesome name for a show, Townies, we could call it. And then just have a couple of random Tyngsborough Townies come in and just
would have
ramble
some,
about.
Oh, and they would. Yep. You would have some of the strangest conversations, but it would be a great show. You're
That
right.
would be pretty funny.
It would be a great show.
That would be pretty funny. All right. So all that said, anything else you want to tell people about?
No, I just hope to see you there.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
Excellent.
great.
Excellent.
Thank
So
you.
again, May 4th, 2019, you've got a little less than a year. So I think I was saying over a year. I don't know what I was thinking of.
Yeah, no. We've
Dates
got
have gone.
winter, and what
We
are we
do.
doing in the
Yeah.
winter?
Right,
I'll be stuck inside on all these snow days, and I'll be planning it all out. So
Nice.
I got plenty of time.
Very cool. All right. So May 4th, 2019, at the Winslow School. It's a Saturday.
Yes.
It starts at what time?
So we have the building reserved. We haven't set an exact time for when commencement will begin. I think it'll probably start at the Old Town Hall, and we'll just have a couple speeches, things like that. We have a video that we made about the Old Town Hall that not everyone made it out to the grand opening for that building. So we'll have that playing. So we'll have a program released to the public with all of the events and what time and everything like that. So.
I'm pretty sure that's the video I'm playing on Tyngsborough TV. I've been playing a video about Town Hall for a while now.
Is it called Only a Building?
That's the one.
Oh,
Yep.
starring
That is the one. Yes, that's the video. That's right. You were in it.
I was in it. I did all the filming of it. That was before we had you, Steve Rogan. And that was me filming that on my iPad. That's all I had.
Really?
And we're going around.
Oh,
so
that's
we
funny.
needed you.
That's
So
funny.
maybe we'll employ you for the next video.
I'll be here, hopefully,
Okay,
provided the town
yes.
wants to keep
well,
me.
No, you're doing a great job. You're
Thank
doing
you.
a
I
great
appreciate
job.
that.
We need that. So good.
I appreciate it. Well, I'm working hard.
Oh,
so.
good. So I hope they're watching it. It's on. When does it air? When is it on? Or is it on this movie?
Oh, the Only Building one?
Yeah.
I have to check the schedule. I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Right.
I remember the name of the show, and when I first started here, I remember somebody had given me this disc that had this on it. So they were like, "Oh, try playing this." And,
right.
Okay.
There you
so
go.
we throw it on, and I watched it. It was pretty interesting, actually.
Yes, you'll learn a lot. Channel 8, right?
Channel. So we're
see, I don't
in
have
Tyngsborough.
cable
We
anymore.
are Channel 8 on Comcast,
Okay.
and then on Verizon we're 29 and 30.
Okay,
right
so
now.
tune in. You can watch that video.
Yeah, you can check it out.
Okay.
All right. So again, May 4th, 2019, Saturday. Starts in the morning again, right? Over at the Old Town Hall.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there, basically. So anybody who's ever gone to the Winslow School,
or even if you're just a friend, you don't have to have attended.
Oh, okay.
Stop by.
so anybody in general. All right. So bring your kids, bring your spouses, loved ones, all those people.
Yes.
And it's going to be an awesome event, I think. Cool. Very cool.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ashley, for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time. She had to rush over from the high school to get here.
Yes,
and,
they're doing all
sure
kinds
wasn't easy.
Well, they're doing all kinds of work on Norris Road and
Norris
buses.
is a mess right now.
Yep. So, right.
For anybody who doesn't know already, you probably do, but they're doing water main work over there, putting new pipes in.
Yes.
So.
Yep, I know. Yeah, a lot of work. So, but
Lots.
I'm here. I made it.
Excellent. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Again, May 4th, 2019. Any questions, you can email them to me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughman.gov, or you could probably email Ashley as well, right?
Yeah,
Where do you want those to go?
Yes, sir. Ashley Makovich at yahoo.com. So
Okay.
it's ASHLEYMAKEVICH at yahoo.com.
That's an easy one.
Right.
No, it's
Just, I know. Sorry. Again, I'll put it in the comments.
okay.
I got a lot of work to do.
We'll throw that stuff in the comments as soon as we
Sure.
finish this, so you
Yeah.
guys can have that contact info. So that's about all I have to say, folks. Thanks again, Ashley, for coming on. I appreciate it. You're welcome. And I hope all of you got to learn a little something about the upcoming reunion, and we'll think about attending if you can. With that said, everybody, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.